So, what's the best way to connect with your audience? Hi everyone. Welcome back to the Creative Exploration series. I apologize for the somewhat janky setup that I have this time, but I recorded an entire episode and it turned out to be blurry, so I'm just letting autofocus do its thing this time, and hopefully I will just learn my lesson and do better next time. So anyway, this week I wanted to talk about becoming your audience. And that's a very interesting idea that I think merits more exploration just in general. I think that the idea of understanding what your audience would like, what they would want, is something that you should take into account when you're making things, especially if you want to make things for the purpose of getting famous, I guess, for a lack of a better word. And I think it's important to just think about what your audience would like. Like, do they want things that are more upbeat, more downbeat? Do they want things that make them think or make them move? And I think that it's important to just kind of keep that in mind while you're making things, and don't let it dictate. I would say not to let it dictate your creative process, but to influence it in a positive way. I think that it's important that you keep your own tone, that you keep your own thoughts and mind and your own flow, but you incorporate the idea of having marketability to the items, and I think that that's important to bring to the table. So aside from just what people might want to see, it's also important to think about how they'd want to consume that media as well. Is it more convenient for them to use like SoundCloud to view the videos rather than YouTube? And this is a problem that actually came up to me very recently, where I was starting to think about moving away from SoundCloud, but I realized that YouTube is not really the best way to consume audio when it comes to music. It's so much easier to go to SoundCloud, click a link and listen. With YouTube, you don't have the ability to play in the background. You don't have the ability to, like, if you're watching on the desktop, then it's fine, but most people don't really watch stuff on the on their desktop anymore. It's more of a mobile experience, and it's important to keep that in mind when you're making stuff. And I think it's important to realize that not everybody is the same. I think that once you get your media out there, you should spread it as far as you can go, but just keep in mind that people want to consume media in different ways, and that you should be as accommodating as possible to everybody, but also make sure that you aren't like putting your stuff on YouTube when a lot of your fan base is on SoundCloud. You might not want to market on a place like Etsy if the more in-person experience with like a boutique store is something more along the lines of the work that you do. So I think that it's important to keep an eye out for this kind of stuff and just make the best decisions both for you but also for the people who will consume the art that you create. So what do you think about this topic? I've had it sitting around in my queue for a long time, and I figured today is probably the best day to do it with all the technical difficulties I have. I hope you enjoyed it, and I would love to hear what you think in the comments below. Thank you again for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one. Be remarkable. This video is also supported by some fantastic Patreon subscribers. Thank you guys so much for helping continue the Creative Exploration series.